Hello. Still getting set up here. Like I said, I love it when no one's watching. Oh my God. Here we go. Okay, so today's topic, unusual weapon. Excuse the way I look, but I wanted to get some content down today, and I was thinking, in terms of um, loyalty versus love. So voodoo has called. And I say that because voodoo just means spirit. And when the spirit calls your name, you must ask yourself some relative questions of loyalty versus love. So, um, voodoo called my name. My birth name is Tamika Royal. My mother gave me another name. She gave me the name of what she calls her husband. But I truly don't believe that this man is her husband. I believe that he is a spirit that rides her. When I say that because of the things that I've experienced in the home as a child. It took my memory. And when my memory was established back, I understood that voodoo was calling my name. And in calling my name, um, brought me back to gnosis, brought me back to knowledge. Calling my proper name, calling my birth name. Um, when your good book says that it will write your names on the tables of the books of in heaven, um, that is a metaphor. And that means that when your ancestors start to do the proper rituals over you, when you speak on voodoo, you speak on spirit, you speak on your ancestors, you speak on the spirit that I call the first spirit, the spirit that is the intelligence of all spirits, that gives all other intelligence being. So, what I mean when I say voodoo is calling. So, I had a dream, and in my dream, it brought back my memory. My memory was lost from child abuse, years of child abuse to compromise my memory. Things are done on purpose. Please don't pass over purposeful things. So when things are done on purpose, that means that you need to be purposeful in your doing as well. So with my purposeful doing, I understand that voodoo is calling. I understand that spirit is calling. I understand that my ancestors are calling my name. So I speak their names. So when I say that um, honoring, giving honor where honor is due is important. To speak your ancestors' names are important because they are doing the proper rituals over you in the afterlife. There is life after this life. And some of you who have experienced things that you've heard, deja vu, um, things that you dream about, all of that is a way of spirit trying to connect to you. When you are in religion, and this is a part of the journey that I speak on. When you are in religion, you have something else in your ear. Now in voodoo, um, you must be careful of who's in your ear because that's your storyteller. And all schools have scholars. All schools have scholars. And that means that if you want to look at their story, if you look at the storyteller that's in your ear, look at their story. Look at the storyteller's story. Look at their life. Look at their family. Look at their children. Look at who they are and what they stand for. And that's your storyteller in your ear. So not only be careful of who you interact with spirits, because remember, we're trying to get rid of our animal portion. Our animal portion of ourselves are the portion of ourselves that need to eat, they need to sleep, it needs to have sensual activity. These are a few of the animal portion. It's emotional, and these are the things that you need to get under control. And so, controlling your animal portion and coming back to a rational state. Your rational portion is where you'll find spirit. Logical, rational. The universe is mathematical, angles. It's rational. The universe is on a system. After winter comes spring. Winter, spring, summer, fall. This is the system. You hardly or never, sometimes you will find some weather, and that is, weather outside of your system. But typically, winter, spring, summer, fall is a system that comes in synchronicity. Everything here is a system. Even you being here is a system. Now, when you think about who the storyteller is here, now I come from the system of religion of Christianity, and Christianity um, believes in the man God Jesus, and I've let that go because it no longer is rational to me. It makes no more rational sense. Once spirit got in me, got to me, this man named Jesus makes no sense. He's no longer rational. And the reason why I say that is because I know the spirit of my grandmother, with whom I've never met. I've never met her because of my physical story here. I've never met my material grandmother here. I've never met her in the physical. But when she showed up on my behalf in the spirit, I knew exactly who she was. I have her blood in me. I am her. So, speaking your ancestors' name, I speak my grandmother's name, Beatrice Royal. I speak my grandfather's name, Julius Royal. I speak my grandfather's name, Arlius Royal. I speak my aunties and uncles' name because they are me. I am them. It's real logical and rational. So, with that being said, we want to start off with just making sure that we speak our ancestors' names, and that we understand that speaking to our ancestors allows them a willing vessel to speak back. So, becoming a willing vessel. Now, today's topic is when voodoo calls, do you choose loyalty or love? You see, I've loved a lot of people, but they don't have loyalty to me. And I bet you have too. See, when rationality comes into play, you start to choose and you start to ask rational questions. Loyalty over love. What do you think? Now, voodoo makes you understand that clearly, and spirit makes you understand that clearly, especially because you're on a religious system here. If you step away from religion, you'll find that some of the most religious people here are some of the meanest. You know, since I've stepped away from Christianity, I've been called this, I've been called that, I've been called not having this or that. But it's odd that their God is so loving, but they can't find the strength. Now, what also makes it odd is that they remain to say that their God is a jealous God. but that God still tells you to get rid of certain attributes like jealousy. But yet, He's a jealous God. But that's just how being a hypocrite um plays to Christianity. But I'm not here to say this or that. What I am here is to bring rational thoughts to rational people who are looking for when voodoo calls. Because I know when I started to hear my grandmother's voice, that's the voice that came to me. When I started to hear her voice, um, I wasn't anything other than curious. Because when the voice of your grandmother comes upon you, it gives you nothing but curiosity. So we speak our grandmothers and our grandfathers and our ancestors' names because they are still alive and well. They're not in material bodies as we know them, but they are alive and well. Ashe. And Ashe just means amen. In your Christian's world, you say amen. That's the way that you almost like give a high five to what somebody's saying. You know, hey, I agree with you. When you stand and agree with someone, you give them an amen in your churches. And I still say amen because I do stand and agree with them. And the word means what the word means. However, Ashe, Ibashe. I go back to my native tongue. Ibashe. Ibashe. Ashe. That means, in the African language, in the Yoruba language, in the language of our native tongue, that means amen. Ibashe. Ashe. So when we're here, we always speak our ancestors' names, and we always let anyone who's interested know that a lot of the systems here that we are on was given to the lowest forms of society. Christianity was rolled out to the lowest forms of society, which was slaves at the time. They rolled it out to the lowest group of society. And to imagine that they then wrote a book to enforce the proper way of breaking. And the first page in this story, it comes about that the making of the slave. He wrote it on December 25th. Now, you want to know why dates and stuff are important? We run around celebrating December 25th, the day that Willie Lynch gave a speech on the making of the slave. He gave a public speech on December 25th, 1712. And he simply says, my method is simple. Method is simple. I do not need to elaborate. These are some of his words. His method is simple. If you have yet to read this book, this is a good information pamphlet because it reads like a pamphlet. It's not that long because these are instructions on how to break a slave. So it's like a pamphlet. And if you haven't read the pamphlet on how you were broken. So, with that said, we speak power, majesty, dominion, and honor from this day and henceforth. But with that being said, you must be in your right mind, right minded knowledge. So, today we want to have, I guess, a little prayer. And this is going to go a little different because we are praying against the things that we know, against stupidity, against the forces that keep your mind strongholds. So today, I invoke power. Be mindful with power. It's an interesting thing. So I pray for the white man and the white woman. I pray that they stop killing their children because what they don't understand is that they're not killing ours. We don't die. We are part of the system, and the system is a part of us. The system is 70% melanin. And they dumb us down to say that we're black, but really we're melanated creatures. Just as all creatures are melanated. And all creatures have some form of melanin. But so we pray for the white man today. We pray that he stops killing the earth. And we pray that he stops killing the children, his own. So we speak to the white man and the white woman, and we give them all of our energy because we need to let them know that they aren't in control. The prayers for the white man and the white woman are needed simply because when you become on one accord and once you understand spirit, you understand where to direct spirit. This is a energy system, and who is the storyteller in this system? Who's attempting to tell the story in this system? Now, as long as you keep listening to the storyteller, they have your attention. Please don't listen to the storyteller. We must continue to pray for the white man and the white woman. Because as we know, the white man and the white woman are full of deceit. No matter how much we attempt to, I would say, train them. And the reason why they love dogs so much is because dogs are easily trained. And of course, dog backwards is God. So just like live backwards is devil. The way to reverse devil is just to live. Just start living. Open your mouth and start living. You must speak against it. So when you pray for the white man and you pray for the white woman, you pray that they stop killing their children because they won't kill ours. Even though it looks like they may be doing one thing or another, we understand that this system doesn't kill us. If you understand reincarnating, you understand that you never leave, you never die. So when you never die, you become confident. So I had a dream that I threw myself off of a building. And that's when I understood that voodoo was calling. Voodoo is just spirit. And the spirit told me that we need to start to pray for our white brothers and our white sisters because they're killing the earth and they're killing themselves. If nobody's causing any problems, if nobody can look at relative systems, if nobody can look at who the storyteller is, if nobody can pay attention to what is happening and who is doing the happening and who they're doing it to, we must join together and we must pray for the ignorant, the lame, the blind. And that is the white man and the white woman. And I don't care how much makeup and how much ties and how much lies they put. Remember, everything they have here is based on a lie. Their money, their land, their everything. So when you listen to the storyteller in this system, if you continue to listen to the white man, you will continue to listen to the lie. You must pray for the white man and the white woman. That's what's not happening here. The spirit of voodoo has instructed me to pray for the white man and pray for the white woman because they are misled and they have been lost. And the relative system that we are in, that we own, we have favor. And if it's not clear yet, look at the stories. We've been lynched. We've been drowned. Our babies have been fed to alligators. Anything and everything have happened to us. We've been experimented on, Tuskegee experiment, syphilis, Lucy. If you're knowledgeable, these things make sense. However, if you remain angry, you're playing the white man's game. This is anger. You know, your devil and your Jesus and your gods and your devil, they're one and the same. Their energy. This is an energy system. Everything here is energy. So any evil, any good, it's all wrapped up in energy. So in this system, you must ask yourself every day you wake up, ask yourself, where am I? Ask your ancestors, ask the spirit of the Lord, where am I? Because what you should understand is you're in a system that has time and space. And this time and space is being held down by one element, which is gravity. Now, anything else in here, everything else in my room, anything else in this atmosphere is just material. Everything else is just particles. This is a particle. This is a particle. I'm a particle. What we do have here in this system is time and space, and they're both relative to each other. That we manifest in this time and space. So when you ask yourself, where am I and what time it is, you should be able to realize what your purpose is in this system. Praying for the white man removes the evil. Prayer changes things. Now, your religious system has you praying for things that don't even matter. Have you praying for other material matter? Bless me with a house. Bless me with a car. Bless me with a man. Bless me with a kid. Bless me with some money. Bless me, bless me, bless me, bless me, bless me. Spirit fingers. Bless my health. When half of the things that you need blessed for, you're in the system and you're perpetuating it yourself. Your health, eat better. I'm not saying that it might change a lot of things, but it might change your energy. A lot of the things that you're doing, you're perpetuating because it's in your mind. I know a lot of people with diabetes. Diabetes is what you eat and how you process it. Now, if your body doesn't process sugar, isn't it about what you eat? Getting control over your animal. Animal spirit versus rational spirit. The animal portion of us needs to eat, sleep, have sensuous activity, have sex, have the animal portion of us fears. Getting rid of your animal portion is how you find spirit. Now, becoming rational, having rational thinking, having rational thoughts. Religion removes rationality from you. That's why it's an important factor to pray for the white man. Because if you think about who's messing up the system, it's the white man and the white woman. Prayer. Pray for them. Pray that they stop killing their children. And they stop destroying Mother Earth, because Mother Earth will throw off her cancer. She will throw off her cancer. Before she lets a white man destroy her, she will throw off her cancer. Because she knows all other things will be kept. The good story of, Noah putting all the animals in the boat, which makes absolutely no sense. It's not a rational thought. All the animals in a boat. An ark of a boat. You see, the rational portion of us says that if we can't do it again, if we can't build an ark that could put all the animals in there now, we probably didn't do it before. And the rationality says that we can't even build the pyramids again. We don't have the intellectual fortitude. So if we didn't do it now, I don't think we did it then. You want to know spirits and gods? There was before us and there will be after us. We are in a system. This is our body today. We'll get a new one. Your good book in religion says that when you leave this place and you go to your heavens, you'll get a new body. Your body will be transformed. And that's the truth, because we can pass by every cemetery right now. All of the material bodies are in the cemetery. We put them in boxes and we threw dirt over them. So we understand that this body will only see this system. This body won't leave this system. So with that being said, I think that we ought to give relative inquiries into the afterlife. Makes sense, right? So when voodoo calls, or when anything calls, this is my question: loyalty over love. Now, I had voodoo call my name and I answered the call. I had my grandmother speak to me. And then eventually I met my grandfather in my spirit world. Now, remember, these are two grandparents I never met because of the abuse that was in my past. Now, I am a firm believer that voodoo called my name far before it called my name. The child abuse that I encompassed involved black magic. There's nobody on this planet that can make me think anything different. The child abuse that I experienced was beyond abuse. It's beyond abuse. My mother and her husband, they are doing something and I don't know what, but what I can do is I can speak against it. Because even your man, God, Jesus, when he saw the man with that was full of lesions, he didn't let the man just walk past him. In fact, the spirits asked the man Jesus in this parable, in this story, excuse me, he asked the man Jesus to put the spirits in the pigs, because he knew that he was the man Jesus was not going to just let this man walk past full of lesions. So the spirits in the man, all the legions in the man, asked the man Jesus, don't kill us, put us in the pigs. And then your man God Jesus says, okay, because he knows that the pigs don't have the capability to do what these spirits want them to do. They need a human body to do whatever they do. And so he puts them in the pigs, and then of course you know the story. The pigs, they drown themselves. That's why you probably shouldn't eat pigs. I don't know. It's a lot of things being put in animals, being put in things. And so when the man God did not, and the reason why I call him a man God, and I preface to say that because in the book of I believe it's the book of I have to find the book of it. I don't want to misread, but I know that he never calls himself a God. He always calls himself the man of God. So I'm just prefacing, Jesus like he prefaced himself. He never called himself God. So please don't get offended. So when we talk about, praying for the white man, we talk about making sure that we understand that this system and the storyteller in this system is created by one such. So when you pray for the white man, you pray that he stops killing the land. You pray that he stops killing his children. You pray that he stops killing because his culture is war. So when Voodoo called my name, when spirit called me, because a lot of people don't like to use the word voodoo, it makes them feel one way or another. And some people don't like to use the word spirit. Some people just like to use the word whatever they use. And I'm not sure what they think they're conjuring up when they use, but everything here is a spirit. Everything. Point blank, period. Everything. So when you pray for the spirit of a white man, you're praying for the spirit of war to be released, because that is the spirit that the white man holds. When you hold something in your hand, it's yours. Now, the story in the Bible of the Cain and Abel, they're brothers. So the white man is our brother. And we must pray for our brother and our white sisters. So praying for them assures that they leave us alone, because prayer changes things. Praying for the white man and praying for the white woman is what Voodoo has called me to do and called for us to do. Because at this point, we must not play games, and we must not intertwine with people that we know are violent, with people that we know have history of lists. Willie Lynch, how to break a slave. And he says it's very simple. It's very, very simple. He says he doesn't have to elaborate. It's very simple. This reads like a pamphlet. So when I tell you that praying for the white man means more than what you think. So whatever God you serve, because what I can tell you is that Voodoo is not jealous. Your man Jesus may be jealous. But when the real McCoy has to show up, there can only be one. So with that said, you can say that nobody here knows. If you're on this side of the fence, you don't know. But what you can do is you can speak to your ancestors. You can speak to your grandmother. You can speak to your father, because if they are on the other side, they have gnosis. They're not dead. And even in your good book, Jesus, your good book, your Bible, because I am very relative in the Bible. I was a Christian for all my life. And although I believe my story as a child encompassed black magic, I do believe that my mother and her husband are doing black magic. There's no doubt in my mind. And I will call them out because that is my belief. And if they're not, they were. The hanging of the animals, the locking me in the garage, the sleep deprivation, these were all rituals. And these were all habitual. When you have something that you do habitually, it is a ritual. So when you get up every morning and you get up and have a cup of coffee and get dressed for work and drive the same car, drive down the same roads, sit in the same pew at your desk, do the same work all day long, get off at the same time, talk to the same boss, you are engaging in ritualistic activity. And if you don't want to think about it as being a ritual, then you must think that you are at least a being habitual. So when you don't understand what you're doing here, the only reason why I see it is because I am a firm believer that voodoo called my name prior to. What I saw in my mother and that man's house, nobody wants to know. But what I can say from the experience of the black magic is this is what we are to do. All of the things that were encompassed on me were all of the things that were encompassed on the slaves. Forgetfulness, locking someone in darkness in a garage, a child of 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 years old. This went on for years until my sister came. And even after that, she was sleeping in the bed and I was being put in the garage night after night. So when you think about all of the things that the white man has put into our families, we must be very conscious of being disrespected. You know, the spirit of tomfoolery, the white man coming in your home, sleeping with your wife, and you must sit and look like it doesn't bother you. Your wife pregnant with his child, and now the white man's child is in your home because it's a mixed race child. It's not quite white, not white black, so it stays in there with you. But you can't mistreat the master's child. Actually, the master's child has oversee over your entire home because it's the master's child from your wife. And you must then go fetch the master's horse and act like it don't bother you. We must reconsider how being disrespected has made us. As a unit, we need to start praying for the white man that he won't kill his children because he won't continue to kill us. We don't die. I guess in a sense, we keep multiplying. But the prayer for the white man needs to happen now. We need to hold hands together with other white men and other white women. But first, we must do it on our own. And I don't want to exclude anybody, but as a whole, as melanated people, we need to have melanated moments that don't involve white people. And when I say that, I mean that, and not in the terms of hate, but in the terms of energy. They're living off of our energy. So what we should do is understand our power of our energy. Everything here they got from one, meaning they removed from melon everything, all of the gold, all of the diamonds, all of the oil, all of the resources. They're fooling now with the air, chemtrails, and the waters. If you don't start to pray for the white man, you understand that the white man has no sense. And I mean that in the most respectful way, meaning that he can't feel Mother Earth. He doesn't have enough melanin in him to feel what we feel. And this is not about anything other than being responsible people of spirit. Praying for our cancer. If you had cancer, in your physical body and you had a prayer method, you would use it, right? Well, you have a cancer on this planet, and you have a way of using your voice to pray. Now, if you don't want to believe one thing or another, all you have to do is go back in history. Slavery, Nazi, war, Roman Catholic Church, the Crusaders, the Atlantic slave trade. These are just some things. Hiroshima. Keep going. There's not one thing that you can speak about that is real and that is a positive thing for white people. If it's a real thing and not make believe like your God Jesus, because they had to make up something that perpetuated something other than war for them. If you can think of one other thing that's actually a real story that actually perpetuates positiveness, if you can think about it, bring it forward. And it's not deceitfulness. All of the missionary treatments. We going out to do the missionary. Y'all better stop letting these white people go into Africa claiming to be missionaries. Now, praying for the white man makes more sense than marching, writing your congressman. As a whole, as a unit, as a people, think about it. Loyalty over love. If your loyalty is to your God, whomever that God may be, choose whom this day whom you will serve. Now, sometimes this show goes a little bit further. Sometimes people may follow it, people may not follow it. I'm not sure. But this is a story about rational portion versus the animal portion in you. Getting rid of the animal portion, the portion that needs to eat, sleep, have sensual activity, that needs to fear, all of the things that are encompassed in emotions. That is called animal portion. Your rational portion is the portion that needs to come forth. Rational thinking, logical thinking. And in this system, we understand who the storyteller is. We understand who the storyteller is. And we need to change the narrative. As I said, on December 25th, 1712, Willie Litch gave a speech, and all of the important masters and slave owners came to speak. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe it was on the White House stairs. He gave a speech on how to break a slave. And then on December 25th, we make a lot of hoopla, don't we? We spend a lot of money and we bring tree. We cut down Mother Earth and we drag her into our houses and put lights on it. And we put material things under the tree that don't even matter. The next day, some of the things are broke. The next day, some of the clothes have holes in it. All these things mean absolutely nothing because they're feeding into your animal portion. They're feeding your emotional portion. the part of you that needs to eat, sleep, love, give sensual activity. Spirit cares more about your loyalty, because loyalty produces love. Love cannot produce loyalty. So this is loyal. All of the saved masters coming out, they were loyal to Mr. Willie Lynch to know how to do this. So I implore people to start praying for the white man in your rational minds, because you know what system you're in. And when voodoo is calling, voodoo has instructed me to make room and to start praying for the white man. So I will do my very best, and I will try my very best every episode to give a prayer to the white man and to pray for the white man, that he will stop destroying Mother Earth, that he will stop destroying his children, that he will stop the destruction, that the spirit will speak to him, and that he will be able to feel it, because this has been going on far too long. So I ask that as you go about your day and when you start to pray, that you make a prayer for the white man. When you start to pray for the white man and for Mother Earth, that she will start to throw off her cancer. When voodoo calls, do you choose love or loyalty? And when you choose loyalty and voodoo gives you a direct order, when spirit tells you to do, you do. Just like when your man, God, Jesus, tells you to do something, most of you jump right on it. Well, has your man, God, ever told you to pray for the white man? Pray for the people who are oppressing you. And pray out loud, because your voice has a vibration. Everything here oscillates. Everything here is a vibration. So we'll start to pray for the white man and the white woman with all of our being, because prayer changes things. Now, loyalty versus love, that was the question today. And has anyone else experienced spirit calling them? Again, I had a dream, and that's how spirit called me. I had a dream that I threw myself off of a building. And when I asked a relative question to spirit, I just asked, what did that mean? And at the time, I think I was just talking out loud. I wasn't even asleep. I was, in that state of sleep that you're not really asleep. The spirit told me I was having visions in my head in my bed. That means I'm quite not asleep. So praying for the white man is important. And I employ everyone that will listen to start to do that, to start to pray that the white man will gain some knowledge. We've been trying to teach them for eons. This is not the only planet that they've destroyed. But more importantly, this is where we are right now. And prayer for the white man will change this planet. Prayer for the white man will change this system. And if we continue to pray for things that don't matter, if you can't see that praying for the cancer on this planet, if you have a sickness, you pray against that sickness, right? You pray. Well, as a whole, this world has a cancer. This system here has a cancer, and it has a history. It would make relative inquiries to pray for your cancer. Prayer for the white man. This is the Epiphanist. I pray that the white man will stop killing his children and killing the world, because he won't kill us. Asking relative questions is what we do here on Use Your Weapon. And I thank you for joining me today. That was just my thought I had. And loyalty versus love and prayer for the white man. That's what this, that's what we need. We need prayer for the white man and woman, that they will stop killing themselves, because they're killing themselves. And we live here too, for now. But when you have war in your head and nothing about nothing that you do, nothing, I don't care how many white people you smile at, your culture as a whole, because every race, every group of people has a culture. Pray for the white man, pray for the white woman as a whole. Look into their culture. They're thieves. They're stealers of land. If you find the person who in their book, all the lies, all the book of the Bible, all of the sins that they have put down here, if you look at who possesses all of them, and integration is to make you look like them. So integration may not be all great because it makes you look like them. Prayer for the white man. And what do you think about this? I heard Voodoo say this to me. I heard Spirit say this to me, and um, I will do. I will do as instructed, because I understand history, and I understand people say, "Oh, that's so long ago," but you know what? History is still going on. If you look in the paper, I'm sure you'll find a hanging somewhere, because they're rituals. They're still, in order for this system to keep performing like they're doing, they must continue to hang somebody from a tree. It's a ritual. It must happen. In order to break the rituals, you must pray. When they do these things and it's making news, trust me, it can make news, but what they're doing is they're performing the rituals. These things must happen at certain points. So what you must do to interact the spirit, to interact the spirit and move forward in the system, is you must pray for your cancer. You must pray for your cancer. If you were sick, you would pray for your cancer. Well, the white man's sick and been sick for a long time. And a lot of us are envying him because he has this paper in the bank that he created. He created this paper after he stole all of the things. He created this paper, and now he makes it valuable. And now it's only valuable because we chase it. Paper has no value. Our gold had value. The element, paper doesn't even make the element chart. Gold is in the atmosphere. They're using gold to make their satellites because gold won't rust. Gold is in the atmosphere. You're giving away your change, your copper, your metal, your silver, your dollars. I mean, you're giving away all of your change. Now you go to the store and it says, "Oh, we don't have any more change. We can't give you no change. We'll give you a store credit. We'll give you some more paper or some plastic." And we're giving away our salt. When you go to the store, you dumping your change in that machine. And I know some of us are doing it because we have financial issues. You can't help what you can't help. But when you are swapping your material, your actual precious metals for paper, think about it. You actually have copper. Do you know that people are breaking into houses and stealing copper out of? I'm a property manager. So people are breaking into houses and stealing copper wiring, and you're giving away copper for paper. You're giving away your pennies. And pennies sound like nothing, but pennies are copper. Why do you think they want it? Why do you think they have a big machine in the store to take your copper, silver, and it spits out pennies? I mean, spits out dollars. And then when you go to the change machine, when you go and pay your stuff, then it'll tell you that they ain't got no change. After everybody just put their change in that thing, it'll tell you it's a change shortage, y'all. Pray for the white man. He's a stealer of land. And in order to steal a land, you must be a liar. And a lie will break about any other in all other sins. He's a killer, he's a stealer, he's a robber. And until you make it clear that you see certain spirits in certain people, like your man, God Jesus, when he walked past the man full of lesions, you must speak, you must pray, you must hold authority. So, prayer for the white man is what we are here to do today. And um, I pray that you will start to make that a part of your daily prayers, praying for the cancer in our system. And this is Use Your Weapon. I am the Epiphanist, and it's been about almost about an hour now, and I have to get my day going. But thank you so much for joining me. Let me know what you think. Comment, like, and share. Also, I am a property manager. If you have any leasing, needs or any property management needs, please contact the 25th Dynasty at www.25thdynasty.com. I am all about connecting with prosperity. Thank you very much. And until next time, I want you to know that living on purpose kills a lot of noise. Ashe.